It's almost time to rally in the valley. But first, it's the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Mulcahy Field. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock, and today the Miners take on the Anchorage Bucs here in Anchorage, and it's a little bit rainy here. It's 61 degrees in Anchorage with a lot of cloud cover, a lot of dark clouds, and rain is coming down, but no delays yet as far as we know, and the Miners having already gotten the news that they are heading to the top of the World Series. Now the two frontrunners in the other division, the Bucs and the Panthers. This is a very important game for the Bucs because if they fall to the Miners tonight, then it will be the Panthers and the Miners in the top of the World Series. So big game on the Bucs side of things. And after a day, Miners had a day off yesterday after the doubleheader against the Panthers, and John Farindelli has the start tonight for the Miners. And Farindelli, with the 4-1 record, has pitched 32 2/3 innings and has looked really, really good. His last few starts pitched against the Panthers up in Fairbanks, and that was the only loss that he has been accredited to this season. But, Austin, what are you looking for out of John today?
Well, I think really part of this whole game is just to get these guys their work in. And, right now it's the first two games, if the Miners need to go to a Game 3, I think that third spot for a Game 3 in the top of the World Series, I think the start is kind of up for grabs right now. From what we understand, Tyler Stubblefield will be the guy who starts Game 1. Ryan Hendricks will be that guy who starts Game 2. And right now, Game 3 is sort of a little bit to be determined. Guys are probably going to end up fighting for that last spot. But Farindelli, looked really good back last week against the Panthers. No decision. Went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, just 1 earned run, walked 2, and struck out 3. The 2 starts before that were a little shaky. He gave up 6 runs in each of those last 2 starts on July 10th against the Chinooks and July 4th against the Oilers. But, he had said to me after that game against the Panthers, he goes, "It's probably the best I felt all summer." So if he can keep going with that, then he's probably, I think he's a very solid choice for that number 3 spot. And one thing I don't think the word concerned is right, but something I think about, I don't know if it's really as big of a deal as a lot of people might think it is, but it's chilly here. And John comes from Arizona, where the summers down there are really hot, and it's just beautiful weather pretty much all year round. So I kind of wonder maybe if that has any part of how he pitches today. But, coming off that last start, it's a huge confidence booster. So I think if he's really confident, which I'm sure he is, he seems to always be confident going into every start, this weather shouldn't bother him one bit.
And looking on the bat side of things, the Miners beat the Panthers in Game 1, 1-0. Tyler Stubblefield with the win on that. Pitched the complete game, 11 strikeouts, no runs, no walks, and 4 hits. And then the second game, the Miners lost to the Panthers 10-1, and the 1 run was scored by Paul Panachone off a leadoff single, and that was the only time that the Miners were able to get that leadoff guy on base, and they were able to score him in. And I think that's something, that I've kind of noticed throughout the season. If they can get those leadoff runners to score, then that's usually, kind of indicative of what's going to happen the rest of the game. And, it's a good example of that the last game against the Panthers. But then also, they lost 10-1, but that was because we saw 6 different pitchers come out of the bullpen for the Miners. As BT said, it was Johnny Holstaff day. Just kind of getting those pitchers in, getting them their innings, and then giving them the day off yesterday, and looking ahead here for the final push before the top of the World Series.
Yeah, I think about it a little bit. The last time the Miners played that doubleheader against the Oilers, they won the first game, lost the second, and then went on that losing streak. But I don't think that's the case here. I think that was just an example of they faced 2 excellent pitchers for the Panthers, and they got their good hits. I think it's sometimes you just have those games where you just don't score runs. You can't. I haven't calculated it lately, but I think that I would say around half, maybe 45% of the wins for the Miners have been when they've scored double digits. Maybe it's around 40%. I don't know, but it's a lot. And at one point it was half the season, and I think that you just can't put up 10 runs every night. You can't. You can't put up 5 every night. Sometimes you're going to have to win 1-0. Sometimes you're going to have to win 2-0. Sometimes, and we saw this actually with Johnny Reed in his start when he had that start where he struck out 9, and I think it was 4 2/3. I'm not positive that the Miners got 1 run, but it just wasn't enough. And the Miners, he gave up the 1 run, or one of the relief pitchers, something like that, and you don't get run support, and it's unfortunate. That's sometimes what happens with pitchers. You pitch well, but you don't get the run support, and you end up with the loss.
Right, and you mentioned that they went on that losing streak after that doubleheader, but then again, they're kind of already in the top of the World Series, and they've already clinched their division, and so they have one final push here at the regular season games, and then they have a day off, and then the next day they will play the top of the World Series. But the Panthers, on the other hand, if the Bucs lose tonight and it's the Panthers in the series, the Panthers have 2 days of doubleheaders right before the World Series. They don't have a day off, so Miners definitely going in with a little bit, maybe I don't know if it's an advantage, but have that day off, kind of, gather yourself, see, how far you've come during the season, focus on the last few games. And looks like we are about to get set. I'll run you through the lineup first for the Miners real quick. Paul Panachone leading off the shortstop. Cam Newell out in right field batting second. Matthew Decker at first base. Josh Meyer batting fourth. Catching tonight for John Farindelli. Johnny Loker in left field. Nick Blazer designated hitting in the 6th spot. Terrence Conley batting 7th at second base. Dane Wunderlich in center field batting 8th. And in the 9th spot, Jordan Rogers at third base. And one name that sticks out that is definitely missing from that lineup is Cameron Frost, the center fielder. And, just kind of giving some days off for these guys. And Frost is a everyday player we've seen in the lineup, and very well deserving of a day off. And coaches are meeting at the home plate, and things should be starting in about 5 minutes.
I think that talking about that, Cameron Frost not being in the lineup, a lot of these guys just there was a host family appreciation dinner last night, and the coaching staff, Ed Taylor, they gave out awards to the players, and Cameron Frost was one. He won a big, I think it was overall most valuable position player, and that just goes to show how much he means to this team and how valuable his bat is in the lineup. And going into there's still these games. I mean, they still matter. The Miners are still fighting for home field advantage to play at Herman Brothers Field, but I think that you want to give your guys days off, and I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Mitchell now behind the plate tomorrow, and then Meyer, and then Mitchell now again. Just sort of go off and on with those two. And I also wouldn't be surprised to see maybe pitchers not go 7 innings, maybe go 5 and try to get those relievers their work in, just rest some arms. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And Paul Panachone may get a couple days off. Nick Blazer's back in there. He's the designated hitter. Might see Cam Newell get a day off. Might see Johnny Loker get a day off. I mean, they're going to try to get these guys their time in, and also they want to give them some rest.
Yeah, definitely. And, well deserving, of course. These everyday players, they've been playing a ball game just about every day this summer, especially early work before the game. So they've been working pretty much all day, every day, and leading up to, arguably the most important games of the season, the top of the World Series, they deserve a day off. And looks like we'll have some pregame demonstration or something with the Little League team before, and we will take you down into Mulcahy Field.
Good evening, Bucs fans, and welcome to Mulcahy Stadium for a last throw night with your Anchorage Bucs taking on the Matsu Miners in a league game. Just a quick reminder that people here in Mulcahy Stadium assist all risks incidental to the game of baseball, including specifically, but not exclusively, the danger of being injured by foam bats or batted balls. Those attending this game agree with the Anchorage Bucs, its management, that you can't players run out of or injuries resulting from such causes. The Bucs thank you, and let's enjoy a great baseball game! Introducing the starting lineup for the visiting Matthew Miners, leading off and playing shortstop from Grand Canyon, number 3, Paul Hell. Batting second and playing right field from UC Santa Barbara, number 14, Pam Newell. Batting third and playing first base from Stanford, number 28, Matt Decker. Batting forward and catching from Grand Canyon, number 24, Josh Meyer. Batting fifth, playing left field from Stanford, number 12, Johnny Coker. Batting sixth, the designated hitter from Cal State Northridge, number 4, Nick Glazer. Batting seventh, playing second base from UNC Wilmington, number 26, Terrence Connell. Batting eighth and playing center field from Rice, number 9, Danny Wonderland. And batting ninth and playing third base from Tennessee, number 7, George Rogers. Starting pitcher this evening for the Miners from Chandler Gilbert Community College, number 18, John Randelli. And now introducing the starting lineups for your Anchorage Bucs. Tonight, your Bucs are being accompanied by the Adam Aurora Little Leaguers, the last and 10-year-old District 1 champions. Leading off and playing second base from UC Irvine, number 8, Grant Palmer. Grant Palmer tonight being accompanied by Matt Hawk. Batting second and playing center field from Calabasas, number 9, Andy Crowley. Andy being accompanied tonight by A.J. Sawicki and Joey Jennings. Batting third, your designated hitter from Utah Valley State, number 21, Mark Kruger. Batting fourth and playing right field from Louisiana Lafayette, number 15, Dylan Butler. Dylan being accompanied tonight by MJ Asimis White. Batting fifth and playing third base from Louisiana Lafayette, number 23, Evan Powell. Evan being accompanied tonight by Dylan Dolphy. Batting sixth and playing first base from Dallas Baptist, number 32, Shane Lynch. Shane being accompanied tonight by Andrew Muckendorf. Batting seven and playing shortstop from Austin Peay, number 4, Garrett Copeland. Garrett being accompanied tonight by Curtis Seaver. Batting eighth and playing left field from Fresno State, number 10, Jacob Stone. Jacob being accompanied tonight by Skylar Suchita. And batting ninth and catching from Florida State, number 20, Gage West. Gage being accompanied tonight by Matt Sullivan. Starting pitcher tonight for your Anchorage Bucs from UC Riverside, number 28, Cody Regina. And Cody being accompanied by Ryan Watson. Your Apple coaches include Len Story and Kurt Bear.
Please stand for the national anthem. Gentlemen, please move it back. Here, before you listen, second row.
When you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed, and twilight resting, through such stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the
With championships in 2004, 2007, 2009, and 2010, the Miners are looking to bring a title back to the Mat-Su Valley.
This is the longest championship drought in 10 seasons.
8 former Miners selected in the 2014 MLB draft, and head coach Ben Taylor is back for another season of baseball in the Valley.
Here we go. Mat-Su Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
2-0 pitch swung on, lifted to center field. Charging is Frost. Frost makes a diving catch. What a play by the center fielder.
Sent out to deep right. Going back is James Navant at the wall. He will watch it go.
High fly ball down the third base side. Going back for it. It's at the wall. Smith rounds first, heads to second. And it's in there standing for a leadoff double.
Here's the pitch. Swing, a high fly ball out to deep left. Back goes Adam Manzer. It's gone! A grand slam, and the Miners walk off with the win. Johnny Loker, welcome to the Valley.
And now, the voice of the Miners, Austin Pollock and Emma Tiedemann on the call right now.
Good evening and welcome inside Mulcahy Field here in Anchorage for a game between the National League champion Mat-Su Miners and the Anchorage Bucs. I'm Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann to my right. Almost ready to go, and the Miners coming off a split of a doubleheader on Tuesday against the Alaska Gold Panthers of Fairbanks. Miners won Game 1, 1-0 behind. Excellent pitching from Tyler Stubblefield, but the bats were silent in Game 2. Miners fell to the Panthers 10-1, but try to get back in the win column tonight here in Anchorage against the Bucs. Miners still fighting for that home field advantage in the World Series, which will start next Wednesday. And still trying to figure out who they're going to play. Likely the Panthers. The Panthers have to win tonight, and the Bucs have to lose in order for the Panthers to be in. The Panthers are down in Kenai taking on the Peninsula Oilers. And tonight, John Farindelli gets the start, and Farindelli was excellent in his last start up in Fairbanks. Pitched on the 17th. That was Game 2. Miners lost 7-4, but Farindelli with a no decision went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And the Miners bats, they come in missing a big name, and that's Cameron Frost getting the day off to start the game. You know, these guys have really just been grinding all summer long ever since June 8th, that first game against the Chinooks. These guys have just been fighting and just in such a battle just to continue just to stay hot and to be in that top division, and it certainly paid off.
Yeah, definitely. We saw a lot of defensive changes in Game 2 on Tuesday, and Wonderlic came in for Frost in the 4th inning. Simmons came in for Decker in the 6th, along with Smith for Newell. And, it was just, kind of seeing everyone at different positions. And now it's just, you got to keep grinding for a little bit longer to get that home field advantage. You get the day off, and then you have the top of the World Series.
Well, we are just about ready to go. Paul Panichon, the leadoff man, the shortstop from Grand Canyon, stands in against the pitcher, the lefty from UC Riverside, Cody Rogina. He sets and kicks, and the first pitch to Panichon is a fastball way up and away for ball 1, and we are underway at 7:05.
Rogina with the 1-0 record, 28 innings pitched.
1-0 to Panichon. Fastball upstairs, again, 2-0.
23 hits, 9 runs, all of those were earned. 13 walks, 27 strikeouts, and started 5 games. ERA of 2.89.
2-0 to Panichon. That's a little high with a fastball, and that's ball 3. 3-0. Panichon checks in at 287, no homers, 13 RBIs. Rogina kicks, and the 3-0 is up and away, and that's a 4-pitch walk to start the ball game.
Last time Panichon reached base in the leadoff spot, he scored. That was in the second game of the doubleheader on Tuesday. He was the only run that crossed the plate.
He was 2 for 4 in Game 2, 0 for 3 in Game 1, and here is Cam Newell. Right fielder out of UC Santa Barbara. Newell hitting .353, 7 homers, 39 RBIs. That .353 average is 3rd best in the ABL. First pitch is off speed and inside, but called the strike. 0-1 on Newell. Miners with the green tops and white pants as pretty much always. We haven't seen those yellow tops in a very long time. Bucs with the black tops and yellow numbers and the B on that left chest. 0-1. Newell shows bunt, pulls back. It's a fastball low and away. Ball 1, 1-1.
The rain is still falling in Anchorage. It is pretty chilly, and BT, the third base coach, has on his usual multiple layer look with his batting gloves on.
Regina sets. Checks on Panachone at first. He is back. Paul with 9 steals on the summer. He's been caught 3 times. Cam Newell's .353 average, third best in the ABL. As I said, he's first in RBIs with 39 and checks in with a .603 slugging percentage. 1-1. Josbun again pulls back, but it's a fastball in there called strike. 1-2 on Newell. Cody Regina out of UC Riverside. Wearing the high yellow socks for tonight's game, pitching from the stretch with the runner on at first. 1-2. Lifted out to deep right center. Going over is Dylan Butler, and that is down and rolled to the wall. Panachone heads to third. Ben Taylor waving around the throw in. Paul Panachone still running the throw in. The tag. Well, we're still trying to figure out what happened. There's been no call.
Well, he's safe. Panachone slid around the catcher, West. Didn't tap the plate, and I don't think West realized that, so Panachone just tapped it with his fingers once he was done sliding. And then on that throw in, Newell turned that double and made it in, and is now sitting at third base. So great base running by Panachone and Newell.
And that's a double, and then advancing to third on the throw for Newell. And here's Matthew Decker, first baseman from Stanford. First pitch, swing and a miss with a fastball for a strike one. So now 1-0 Miners with nobody out in the top of the first. You know, from what I saw that Panachone went around him and Gage West, the catcher, tried to make the tag, but there was no call from the umpire. So that's usually what I was waiting for. 0-1 is a fastball in the outer half for a called strike. 0-2. Lights are on here at Mulcahy, and the outfield is straight away. Decker with the high green socks. 0-2. Fastball up and away, ball 1. Decker hitting .253, 2 homers, 14 RBIs. 0 for 3 in Game 1 on Tuesday, 0 for 2 in Game 2. Regina sets. Delivers the 1-2. Decker reaches out for it and taps it foul just to the right of the left-hander's batter's box, and still 1-2. Decker is 4 for 11 against the Bucs this summer. Played 1 year of football in high school. Certainly has the size. He's 6'4". 1-2 pitch. Check swing in the dirt. And that's ball 2. 2-2 on an off-speed pitch from Regina. Regina, 5'11", 190 pounds from Rancho Cucamonga, California. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Low and in, ball 3 off speed.
I'd hate to address a letter to Rancho Cucamonga, California.
You what?
I'd hate to write that in, like an address.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Like put that down on.
I feel like your hand would get tired or you'd run out of space.
Or just not know how to spell it.
3-2 pitch from Regina. Low, and that's ball 4. Second walk given up by Regina. Now there's runners at the corners with nobody out, and Josh Meyer coming to the plate. Defensive alignment for the Bucs: Evan Powell at third base, Garrett Copeland at short, Grant Palmer at second, Shane Lynch at first. Left to right, Jake Stone, Andy Crowley, Dylan Butler, and Gage West doing the catching for Cody Regina. Meyer out of Grand Canyon points the bat, rests his hands above his head. First pitch is lifted foul right behind the press box, 0-1. Regina faced the Miners on July 19th. That was in the second day of the Scout Showcase. Went an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Lefty sets with runners at the corners and nobody out. 0-1 to Meyer. Shopper, right side, second baseman Palmer flips to the shortstop. Copeland for 1, on to first, a double play. But Newell does come in and score, so now the Miners lead 2-0. But a 4-6-3 double play, and there's 2 down in the top of the first. So Decker retired for out number 1 at second, Meyer out number 2 at first, and here is Johnny Loker out of Stanford. Johnny hitting .371, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, currently riding a 4-game hit streak. First pitch from Regina. Fastball low, ball 1. 7 for 12 during the streak with 3 doubles. Was 2 for 3 in the second game of the doubleheader on Tuesday. Johnny out of Stanford. 1-0 pitch. Line into left. That is down for a base hit. Stone cuts it off before it gets to the wall. Loker rounds first, heads into second. The throw in. Loker slides head first. And he is in there with a 2-out double.
And that was just a great hit by Johnny Loker, and good fielding by Stone. Took that direct route to the ball. And there was a close throw into Palmer, the second baseman. And Loker's slide, I don't know if you noticed it, but it seemed very, very slow on that turf that usually is a quick slide. But Loker is safe and standing at second base.
That brings up Nick Blazer out of Cal State Northridge. 267, no homers, 12 RBIs. Runner in scoring position with Loker on second. 2 outs and a 2-0 Miners lead in the top of the first. Rogina delivers the first pitch, and it swung on and fouled to the right side out of play. 0-1 on Blazer. Nick has struck out just 7 times in 75 at-bats this summer. That's something the Miners don't do a lot. They don't strike out that much. A couple guys have a lot, but other guys not so many. 0-1 pitch. Check swing, fastball in there called strike, 0-2.
A lot of these guys so far tonight, early in the lineup, Panachone, Decker. Now Blazer started that 0-2 count, then worked back and reach base. Panachone and Decker both with walks.
0-2 from Rogina. Check swing, it was off speed and low, ball 1-2. Blazer led Cal State Northridge this past season with a 3.02 average, split time between the outfield and the infield. Mainly played left field for Cal State Northridge. Blazer points the bat. Runner on second, Loker, 1-2 with 2 outs, 2-0 Miners. Here's the pitch. Slap foul right to the screen. Still 1-2. Terrence Connolly is batting 7th. Dane Wunderlich bats 8th, and Jordan Rogers bats 9th. We've already seen batters 1 through 5. Panachone, Newell, Decker, Meyer, and Loker. Outfield straightaway, center fielder Crowley maybe a step to our left of the second base bag. Rogina looks at second, delivers the 1-2. Breaking ball in there, a called strike, and that is strike 3. First strikeout for Cody Rogina. But the Miners do get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. 2-0 Miners. We head to the bottom of the first on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Two nothing Miners in the bottom of the second. RBI double for Cam Newell, and then he scored on a ground out from Josh Meyer. Now Bucs try to take their hacks at against John Farindelli. First pitch is a fastball, a little upstairs for ball 1 to Grant Palmer out of UC Irvine. Palmer hitting .329. Second pitch from Farindelli is off speed and outside, 2-0. Palmer at .329, no homers, 11 RBIs. 1 for 4 yesterday against the Chinooks. 2-0. Breaking ball, low and away. And it's 3-0. Palmer was 0 for 2 but scored a run
on the second day of the Scout Showcase against the Miners. 3-0 is a fastball in there called strike. 3-1. I apologize. In the last half inning, I had said that the World Series starts on Wednesday. It starts on Tuesday. 3-1 pitch from Farindelli. Chopper, right side, charging is Connolly. Takes it on a couple hops. Sidearm throw to first. 1 away. Defensive alignment for the Miners. Jordan Rogers at third. Paul Panachone at short. Terrence Connolly at second. Matthew Decker at first. Left to right, Johnny Loker, Dane Wunderlich, and Cam Newell. Josh Meyer doing the catching for John Farindelli. That brings up Andy Crowley, the center fielder from Cal Baptist. Crowley hitting .341, 2 homers, 19 RBIs. First pitch is changeup in there called strike. Crowley 5 for 12 against the Miners this summer. He bats from the left side against the righty Farindelli. 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. That was a good off-speed pitch from Farindelli. 1 away and a 2-0 Miners lead in the bottom of the first. 0-2. Inside fastball, 1-2. Farindelli working very quickly, probably the fastest we've seen him work all summer. Crowley's average, .341, is 5th in the ABL, 1-2. Off speed outside, 2-2. He's tied for second in the ABL with 46 hits. 2-2. Off speed, just outside, 3-2. He's trying to get that outside corner. Crowley, a very dangerous hitter, really hits for contact. Just 2 home runs. 3-2, that's in the dirt, and it's ball 4. First walk given up by Farindelli, and here comes Mark Kruger.
Now batting number 21, Mark.
Kruger out of Utah Valley. He's the designated hitter. Kruger going to bat from the left side. Runner on first, Crowley. Crowley with 4 steals. He's been caught 4 times. 1 away. Farindelli sets, pitching from the stretch. First pitch is a fastball upstairs, ball 1. Kruger just finished his sophomore year at Utah Valley. He was also recruited by Grand Canyon. Farindelli sets. 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there, called strike on the outer half, 1-1. As a freshman for Utah Valley, Kruger hit .323. That led the team. Farindelli sets, 1-1. Foul back right below us, 1-2.
Kruger kind of holds his bat a little odd when he pulls it back in his stance. It kind of looks like he's angling it. It might just be the way, the color of it and stuff, but doesn't it look like he kind of points it a little bit towards Farindelli? See?
Yeah, a little bit. 1-2. And the dirt scooped by Meyer throws the helmet and the catcher's mask off. That runner on, it's 2-2.
Most people, or most players usually, angle it back, straight back, and then come down and hit it. But Kruger kind of angles it out towards the pitcher.
Brandon Smith sometimes does that. But you have to look carefully. Farindelli sets with the runner on, and a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball just outside, 3-2, and he really is trying to get that outer half, but home plate umpire Drew Bertez is really not giving him the call. Field umpire is Robert Mays. 3-2, 1 out, runner on first. Crowley's off. Pitch. Fly ball, shallow left, charging in is Loker. Charging in more. He makes the catch for out number 2. Crowley back to first. And here comes Dylan Butler. Butler out of Louisiana Lafayette. He has 3 home runs. He's hitting .328. That's 7th in the ABL, and he took part in that home run derby here at his home ballpark. And the balls tend to really fly out of here, but we didn't see that many home runs in the derby, and we haven't really seen many when the Miners have played here. Farindelli with a check on Crowley. He's back.
Yeah, people were saying, you're going to see a lot of home runs. No, I have not seen that.
Well, it's .325 down the lines and .410 to dead center. Breaking ball is a little too low, ball 1 to Butler, and the rain really falling now.
Of course, it is a turf field, except for the outfield.
And there are dirt patches at
just about straight away every outfield position, off speed outside. 2-0 on Butler. Butler hit .298 for Louisiana Lafayette this past season. Taps the plate. Shin protector on his left shin. 2-0. Ripped high, deep, left. Goodbye. 2-run home run for Dylan Butler. Now we're all knotted up, 2 apiece, and that is the 4th home run of the summer for Dylan Butler. Just when we were saying how deep it is, or the lack of home runs we've seen, Butler hits one out of here.
Yep, I'll take that one. That's my bad.
That's kind of that's both of us. So now Josh Meyer out there to calm down Farindelli, and we're all knotted up at 2 in the bottom of the 2nd. And here comes Evan Powell, the 3rd baseman out of Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah, there's been a lot of scoring so far in the first. 2 runs by the Miners, the leadoff Panachone and Newell, and then 2-run home run.
First pitch to Powell. Fastball outside, ball 1. Powell at .268, 4 homers, 18 RBIs. He's hitless in his last 4 games. 1-0. Lifted straight back, out of play, 1-1. Powell was 0 for 4 yesterday against the Chinooks. 1-1. Off speed, swing and a miss, 1-2. 1-2 pitch from Farindelli. Off speed, charging is Panachone. Rogers cuts him off, scoops it, throws to first. High throw, and Decker can't make the tag. The throw pulled him off the bag. But too much speed for Powell, and now he reaches with 2 outs. I have to see whether that's ruled an error or if that's a hit. I think that's a hit. That's a single for Powell. And that brings up Shane Lynch out of Dallas Baptist, the first baseman.
That one was hit really, really soft down that to the left of the mound. So even if Rogers or Panachone were able to get it in time, or throw it faster or whatever, that was just a hit.
First pitch is lifted high and deep to left center. Loker going back at the track at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. What a way to end the inning, but it's 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. A 2-run home run for Dylan Butler. We're all knotted up at 2 through 1 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Two-run home run for Dylan Butler, and that ties the score at 2 as we start the 2nd inning here in Anchorage. I'm Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann. Terrence Connolly stands in against the lefty Rogina, and the first pitch is a fastball low, ball 1. Rain coming down. Terrence actually wiped off his bat before he wipes it off again just now. Just before that at bat, but trying to keep that bat dry in a 1-0 count, and here's the pitch. Fastball high, just about level with his eyes, 2-0. Terrence has really been hitting the ball lately.
7 for his last 15. He's hitting .304 with no homers. 2-0. Fastball in there, called strike. Connolly also with 12 RBIs out of UNC Wilmington. He was 0 for 2 in the second game of the doubleheader on Tuesday, but 1 for 1 with that lone RBI. 2-1. Off speed on the outer half for a called strike. 2-2. Terrence snapped a 6-game hit streak in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Rogina sets, kicks, delivers the 2-2. Connolly leans into it, but it's a little high, and it's ball 3, a full count. We've seen a lot of full counts early on here. Connolly White cleans that bat off again.
This is the second full count for Regina, and Farindelli had 2 also.
3-2. That's fastball up and away for ball 4. That'll bring up Dane Wunderlich, the center fielder from Rice. Dane checks in, 212, a home run, 12 RBIs. Shakes that bat with his right elbow pointed out. First pitch shows bunt, but it's blown away, ball 1. Terrence has 1 stolen base on the summer. Wunderlich with the high green socks. Waggles that bat, 1-0. Shows bunt, drops it down right side, charging his Rogina. Off balance throw to first, in time, not in time. There's that speed from Dane Wunderlich. We rarely see it, but there you see it.
Yeah, that was just a great, ball he put down that first base side and just sprinted his heart out down that first base line, and Rogina just not able to get it there in time, and kind of maybe wanted to be a little more accurate instead of throwing it really, really hard and trying to beat Wunderlich out.
And that was probably the smart thing, because had he have thrown that away, that would have gone into foul territory, and that may have scored a run. And here's Jordan Rogers, first pitch, fastball high, ball 1. Now runners at first and second, and nobody out in a 2-2 game in the top of the second. Rogers out of Tennessee, hitting .272. No homers, 14 RBIs. 1-0. Low and scooped by the catcher, Gage West. 2-0. Ben Taylor has really talked about Jordan being quite the athlete. We know he is. Threw 35 touchdowns as a quarterback in high school. And when I saw that before the season started, I wondered, I wonder if he's related to Aaron Rodgers.
Sadly, no.
2-0. Fastball low, ball 3, 3-0.
That would have been cool if he was.
Yeah. First baseman Shane Lynch playing in front of the runner Wunderlich at first. 3-0 pitch to Rogers. That is low, ball 4, and now the bases are full of minors and nobody out. Back to the top of the order for Paul Panaccione. Paul walked in the first, scored on the RBI double by Cam Newell. Newell then advanced to third on the throw. That was Crowley Palmer, the second baseman, to West. Pitching coach for the Bucs out on the mound, talking with Rogina and the catcher West. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Miners. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Bucs. Panaccione coming to the plate. Paul out of Grand Canyon stole 20 bases for Grand Canyon in the spring. Has 11 doubles. That's tied for third in the Alaska Baseball League. Paul points the bat. Hands about even with his right ear. Base is loaded. First pitch. That's low, ball 1, off-speed pitch. I really think that Rogina struggled with the off-speed pitches. His fastball, he's had a pretty good target. It's the off-speed stuff that's really hurting him right now. 1-0. Fastball low, but called a strike, 1-1. Outfield is straight away for Panaccione. The outfielder is playing behind the dirt patch, which is just about in the middle of each outfield spot. 1-1. Swing and a miss at a slider outside, 1-2.
And it is still raining.
Well, right now with really no off days, I don't think the Bucs. I think the Bucs play actually when the Miners have that off day before the World Series. So really no time to get these games made up. 1-2 inside, and that gets away from West. Regina came rushing and charging to the plate, but the runner at third, Connolly, stays there. But that is actually strike 3 for Panachone, and that's the second strikeout for Cody Regina. And with one out and the base is loaded, here comes Cam Newell.
Yeah, and you're talking about makeup games. You know, there's not a lot of time left, but the Bucs do go to Herman Brothers 2 more times, so
I had just thought about that. They could play doubleheaders.
always an option.
I don't think the Miners want to play any more doubleheaders, though. Here's Newell facing the lefty. One out, base is loaded. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Newell was awarded the team overall most valuable player at last night's host family appreciation dinner at the Moose Lodge. Regina sets, pitching from the stretch, and a 1-0 count. Delivers the 1-0. Off speed, low, and it's 2-0. Regina has walked 4 batters through 1 1/3. Newell takes a deep breath, looks out to the pitcher, points the bat out to the pitcher, 2-0. Here's the pitch. Lifted sky high to center. Crowley coming in. Stops, makes the catch. Connolly comes home. The strong throw in. And he's out. Connolly doesn't like the call, but an excellent throw in from Andy Crowley. And it was just very similar to that Paul Panachone slide where he tried to get around the catcher. But West finally was able to slap that tag right on Connolly's left shoulder. So the Miners leave them loaded. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left on. We head to the bottom of the second on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Terrence Connolly gunned down for out number 3 in the top of the second, trying to put the Miners ahead, but it's still 2-2. John Farindelli back out there to face 7, 8, and 9. Garrett Copeland, Jake Stone, and Gage West. First, it's Copeland, the shortstop out of Austin P. First pitch is a fastball low and in, ball 1. Copeland, the shortstop. We've seen him actually at the top of the order, but I guess Tony Cappuccilli's moving him down. Second pitch, a called strike with a fastball, 1-1. Center fielder Wunderlich about 5 steps to our left. 1-1. Line into center, and that falls in left center in front of Wunderlich for a base hit. That brings up Jake Stone, the left fielder out of Fresno State.
Stone with 1 home run, 12 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 1 triple, hitting 182 in the 8th spot.
Last played on the 21st against the Panthers, went 0 for 3. Another lefty for the Bucs. Seems like every other team in the ABL is lefty-heavy except for the Miners. Runner at first, Farindelli sets. 1-0, shows bunt. Farindelli is just to the right of the mound. Farindelli looks at second but throws to first. And they get Stone, but Copeland up to second.
Yeah, we might see the Bucs just, try and just move those runners. We see that with the Panthers, just single move the runner. But I think the Bucs, they want to win this, so they still have that chance of the World Series, and might just see them move the base runners a lot and try and get a lot of RBIs.
Well, now the danger is Copeland, who's at second base. He leads the ABL with 15 steals. And he's that go-ahead run. Here's Gage West, first pitch swinging at an off-speed pitch. 0-1. West from Florida State. He's the catcher. Bats from the left side.
I said this last time, but wonder if he's ever caught for
Jameis
Winston. Yeah.
0-1. Slapped foul left side, 0-2. One away in a 2-2 game in the bottom of the second. Rain still falling, but a turf infield. But natural grass in the outfield. Lights are on at Mulcahy. Wunderlich still playing about 5 or 6 steps in left center. Farandale looking at the runner Copeland at second base. Delivers the 0-2. Lifted left side, foul out of play, still 0-2. Rogers gives chase. Runs out of room.
Still raining, but no wind. There's also a soccer game being played out past left field, baseball game out of center field, and then another, I think it's a softball game out of right field. And then this baseball game.
Farandale looks at second, 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1, 1-2.
So a lot of people toughing out the rain here.
They're grinding it out.
They are grinding.
Farandale sets, pitching from the stretch with a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big out right there, and that is the first strikeout for John Farandale. There's 2 down in the bottom of the second. Back to the top of the order for Grant Palmer, who grounded out to second in the first inning. He's out of UC Irvine. That's a big strikeout right there for Farandale because that runner on second base, Copeland, has a lot of speed. First pitch, chopper, left side. Rogers picks it, stretches out for it. Off-balance throw to first is in time. So it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. John Farandale gets out of a jam, but it's still a 2-2 game as we head to the third on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the third inning, and the Miners and Bucs are tied at 2. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock, and we will see Matthew Decker, Josh Meyer, and Johnny Loker here in the top of the third. Matthew Decker of Stanford at the plate. The windup by Regina. First pitch swing. It's a deep ball into right field. Going back for it is Butler at the wall. Can't make the catch, and Butler just runs right into it. Decker rounds second and heads into third. Here's the throw in. Decker slides and is safe with the leadoff triple.
He actually overslid the bag and reached back and hugged the base.
And Butler is down, and the warning track in right field, he just hit it hard with his head. From my angle, I think it was his head, but
Yep.
Trainer is going to head out there along with coach and umpires, and he is up, but
Oh, he hit that
He
very
hit it.
hard.
so they're going to take a short break, and Decker is at third with that leadoff triple, and that was just a hard hit ball. For a second, it looked like it could have gotten out.
No, the wind not blowing now, but there's a chance that, of course, maybe when he hit that, that was that helped. There was a little bit of wind that helped it go out, but not really. I don't think Butler actually knew where the wall was. I didn't see him put that hand out.
Yeah, we saw Johnny Loker put his hand out at his catch in the first inning, but yeah, Butler, I think he was too focused on the ball and just lost track of where he was. Definitely hit the warning track, though. He knew it was coming, but just didn't expect it, I guess, to be that soon. And the trainer is still out there talking with him, and got to be careful if you hit your head. No, that's just not good. Or really, he hit the wall hard, so it could be multiple body parts that are hurting right now. I know I'd hurt if I ran into a wall at that speed, but. And Josh Meyer is at the plate, ready to bat, but of course everyone is kind of chatting with everybody right now. Lynch, the first baseman, is talking with Sean Winston, the Miners' first base coach.
Sean always seems to have a lot to say.
He does. And BT is actually off the field now.
Well, I wonder where he is. He might be in the dugout.
No, he left the gate. He went out the gate. I saw him leave the field.
Did he go to the bathroom or something?
I mean, I guess so. And
Butler's playing catch in right field.
looks like he is going to stay in. So after a hard hit, just body slam onto the wall, Dylan Butler is going to stay in the game out in right field. Probably just got shaken up a little bit. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him. He's going to stay in, and Josh Meyer at the plate. Meyer grounded out with his 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. Catching tonight for John Farindelli. Meyer out of Grand Canyon University, hitting .290 with 1 home run. That was here against the Bucs. 7 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 2 triples.
Ben Taylor now coming back. I wonder where he went. It's a mystery.
It is.
We may never know.
Cody Regina looks into his catcher. We'll get things back underway here at Mulcahy. First pitch to Meyer is outside, ball 1.
You know, of course, the Bucs are certainly not out of this race, and it's baseball, so anything can happen. And the Miners really haven't had their best way with the Bucs this summer.
1-0 is outside for ball 2, and technically they're 0 for 2 against the Bucs. They did beat them in the 7-inning game during the
A
showcase.
non-league game. It doesn't count.
Those 7 innings, so they are 0-2 on the season. 2-0 outside for ball 3. Bucs a very difficult, very good team, very talented, very similar style of play as the Miners. And yeah, they're definitely not out of it. If the Miners beat them, then they are out of it. 3-0 called strike. So if the Miners do beat the Bucs are out of the race for top of the World Series, and it will be the Miners and the Panners. But if the Bucs win, then it's still up for grabs. 3-1 swung on and ground ball right up into center field. Decker scores, and Meyer with the RBI single.
Yeah, that wasn't really even hard hit. That was just sort of a weak ground ball, but it was hit so fast that there's really no play for Palmer. It was hit to the right side of the second base bag. So if it was going to be anybody's ball, it was probably going to be Palmer, the second baseman, and it was hit fast, not so much hard, but that tends to happen with this turf.
Turf definitely speeds it up. Speeds the sliding up, speeds the the ground balls up. And at the plate now is Johnny Loker. First pitch lined into shallow left field. Charging is Stone. Stone makes the catch, throw to first, and Meyer is still there. And that is the first out of the third.
That actually looked more so like it was headed for that left center field gap rather than shallow left. I feel like there's some sort of wind, but we're just not seeing it. Or, of course, we don't feel it because we're inside. But that looked like the wind tailed it to the left.
Nick Blazer at the plate, designated hitter, 0 for 1. First pitch is one away, throw down to first, and Meyer has to hustle to get back and is safe at first.
Gage West just did his best Josh Meyer impersonation right there. Meyer does that a lot, and it's what makes him such a great catcher. He's always looking around. And that's what Ben Taylor said in Taylor Steak. He's always looking around.
1-0 to Blazer is high for ball 2. Blazer with 12 RBIs and 3 doubles, hitting .267 out of Cal State Northridge. .20 pitch by Regina is fouled back for strike 1.
Trying to keep these bats dry. That's tough.
The drive in, it was very ominous. You could see the clouds over the mountains. 2-1, Blazer shows bunt, pulls back and takes it as ball 3.
Well, we drove in separate cars, and I actually, when we were probably a little bit past Chugiak, I saw a very, very dark cloud over the mountain, and I knew you were probably talking about it.
3-1 is high ball 4 for Blazer. And that moves Meyer to second, Blazer at first, and Conley at the plate.
Did you see that?
Well, I saw it, but we were kind of like, we were singing along to country music and stuff. It was mostly the girl car.
Yeah, you were in the boring car.
No, we had a good time in that car.
Yeah, it was pretty much just 4 of us in our car, and nobody was really saying anything.
First pitch, Conley shows bunt, takes it as a strike. Well, you're with all the players, but I was with Denise Christopher and Mandy Taylor, BT's wife, and then Jordan Rogers and Josh, who both had their beats on, so they couldn't even hear us.
Yeah.
So we were singing along, the country music stations. 0-1 is in there called strike 2, and Mandy and I especially sang along to All My Exes Live in Texas by George Strait. But, because we're 2 Texas gals. So that was fun. We had a good time coming in. Open stance by Conley, 0-2 pitch. In there, called strike 3, and Conley not happy about that, and that's a 3-pitch strikeout by Regina, and his 3rd strikeout of the night.
Yeah, that's the second time Connolly hasn't been too pleased with home plate umpire Drew Vertez. The other time is when he was thrown out after Cam Newell flew out to left when Connolly tried to score.
Brings up Dane Wunderlich, the first baseman. Singled in the 2nd inning. First pitch is high ball 4, and actually every strikeout by Regina has been looking. No one has struck out swinging. One ball, no strike, and 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. 1-0 swing and a miss for strike 1. Meyer on second. He reached on an RBI single. Blazer on first. Reached on the walk. Decker scored off the triple and then the RBI single by Meyer. 1-1 pitch to Wunderlich is outside, ball 2. Coming into this game, Regina pitched 28 innings and walked 13 and struck out 27. 2-1 pitch. A little high and inside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, rain really picking up. I'm actually looking out to the street, and you can just tell the tires are spraying that rain right back.
Three, 1 in there, called strike 2. Wonderlic now with the full count. Meyer and Blazers both with leads off their bases, second and first. 3-2 pitch, runners are off, and it's inside, but called strike 3.
Yeah, Wonderlic does not like the call, and I think Ben Taylor may have a word for the home plate umpire. That's a very brief word.
And so that ends the inning. That's a 4th strikeout for Rogina, but 1 run scores on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. The Miners lead the Bucs 3-2. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Andy Crowley at the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd. The Miners lead 3-2. First pitch by Farindelli is swung on and fouled back for strike 1. Decker in the top of the 3rd had a lead-off triple, then was batted in by an RBI single by Josh Meyer. 0-1, big swing and a miss for strike 2. Crowley now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. He was walked in the first inning and scored a run off the 2-run home run by Dylan Butler. 0-2, swung on, and might be that is a broken bat as he fouls it off towards the third base side. Crowley hitting .341, has 2 home runs, 19 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 2 triples. He's changing out his bat. Mark Kruger on deck, and Dylan Butler, we will see him third. Andy Crowley heading back to the plate. Crowley, the lefty. 0-2 pitch by Farindelli, another foul ball. Crowley from Highland, California, junior out of Cal Baptist, bats left and throws left. Oh, 0-2 pitch by Farindelli is high and away for ball 1. Farindelli will attend Wichita State in the fall. 1-2 is lifted high in the infield. Actually, that is going to be in shallow center field. Panachone, the shortstop, calls for it and makes the catch for the first out. That brings up the designated hitter, Mark Kruger. Kruger is sophomore out of Utah Valley University, hitting .248, 4 home runs, 28 RBIs, 10 doubles, and 4 triples. First pitch swing and foul down the third base side for strike 1. Kruger, a big guy, listed at 6'5", 225 pounds. very, very tall lefty. He bats left and throws right. 0-1 breaking ball in there for strike 2. Farindelli quickly getting ahead in the count in this inning. 0-2, 1-2, whatever he can do. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Kruger, is low in the dirt for ball 1.
Kruger also, surprised he, from what I know, hasn't played any basketball, but he's a size 15 foot.
1-2 is lifted high and out of play down the third base side. Not really. I mean, he's a big guy. I'm not real surprised about that foot size.
Yeah, but 15, that's huge.
He's a huge guy. He's 6'5".
Yeah, I know, but 15, about like 12 or 13.
1-2 pitch is fouled straight back. Kruger stays alive with the 1-2 count and 1 out.
Isn't it Shaquille O'Neal has like a size 32 foot or something like that?
Yeah.
Has to have all his shoes custom made.
1-2 breaking ball. Slow roller back to the mound. Picked up by Farindelli. Throw to first, and that is the second out.
Farindelli has really settled down since giving up that 2-run home run. And, I think he's retired 4 straight, and I think that part of that is Josh Meyer is very convincing. He's a convincing catcher. So as soon as Butler hit the home run, he goes out there and just says, hey, let it go, calm down. And also he's now working with a lead. So that of course helps.
At the plate now, Dylan Butler. Butler had the 2-run home run in the first inning, then was shaken up after he ran into the wall off the triple by Decker in the top of the third, but is in the game still, looking all right. 0-1 is a little low for ball 1.
I think the key for Butler's power, for the most part, is his hands. He's really not a big guy, but he's got very quick hands. A lot like Cameron Frost's power.
1-1 pitch by Farindelli, fastball called strike 2. Butler out of Belle Chase, Louisiana. Junior out of Louisiana Lafayette. Bats on the right side. 1-2 by Farindelli. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And it is a 3-up, 3-down inning for Farindelli and the Miners with his second strikeout of the night. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we head to the top of the 4th. The Miners lead the Bucs 3-2. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Top of the 4th, I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock, and the Miners lead the Bucs 3-2. See Jordan Rogers, Paul Panachone, and Cam Newell. Rogers in the second inning was walked. First pitch by Regina is blown away, ball 1. Rogers at third base tonight, out of the University of Tennessee, hitting .272 with 14 RBIs and 6 doubles. 1-0 pitch, a little low and outside for ball 2. 2-0 by Regina. Little low, ball 3. Rogers now up the count. 3 balls, no strikes.
Regina had a really solid year for UC Riverside, had a 2.57 ERA.
3-0 inside, ball 4.
Although that was only in 14 innings, and 10 appearances, but that's still pretty solid. Keith Christopher making a nice visit to the booth. Salutes us.
Thank you, Keith.
Keith's jacket's pretty wet.
Yeah, it is really raining down there.
Second walk for Rogers.
Panachone shows bunt, pulls back, and it's outside for ball 1.
Keith made a
That is tiramisu.
tiramisu delivery.
That looks delicious. 1-0. Panachone puts it down, slow roller right in front of the mound. And the throw down by the catcher. West gets behind him, but luckily Palmer, the second baseman, was backing up Lynn to the first baseman, and Panachone is able to reach and moves Rogers to second.
You know, those are those things you learn early in Little League. Back the guy up. If there's a throw that's second to first, that second baseman needs to be there, because if there's no second baseman, that goes into the foul territory and right, and next thing you know, Rogers is either at third or Rogers has scored.
And that is going to be an error charged to the Bucs on the catcher. And Cam Newell at the plate with 2 runners on. Shows bunt again, puts it down the third base side, and it's off the shoe of Regina, the pitcher. And he might have slipped and
Rolled his
ankle
maybe.
on that one, and that moves the runners and puts the bases loaded.
I think that might be an error on
That
Regina.
Could be. Regina, but, rolled ankle is just, you got to walk it off injury.
You know, this is a fortunate thing I'm about to say. We have not seen many injuries at all this summer for any team. That's for the minors. Everyone seems to be really healthy, and that's big, because you play over the summer, and I think these colleges are not protected, but they start to think, okay, how are my players doing up there? How are my players doing on the Cape or wherever they are? And you want your guys healthy when they come back. So Regina's gonna stay in the game. He's gonna tough this out, and that's pretty good. Dylan Butler did the same thing in right.
It's going to bring up Matthew Decker, 1-for-1 with a leadoff triple in the third. Regina just kind of throwing some pitches, seeing how his ankle's going to feel. Decker also scored a run off that triple after being batted in with an RBI single by Josh Meyer, and Regina's good to go.
And, I think I misspoke. Butler's not in right field, because that fielder throws left-handed. Butler throws right-handed. I think that's Tyler Ware, because he had turned around and I saw a 3. And Tyler Ware wears number 30, and he's the only outfielder.
And I think we're talking to the umpires.
Yeah.
Regina did slip, so the field might be a little slippery, and coach for the Bucs was talking to him, and now BT's over there talking.
I'm trying to figure out who that is in right field. I think it's Tyler Ware, because I see 2 numbers on that front of the jersey, because the B for the Bucs on the front of the jersey is in the top right on that left chest, and the number is on the bottom right. Tyler Ware's in right. Yeah, that's confirmed. Tyler Ware out of Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's from Omaha, Nebraska.
A&M Corpus Christi is very pretty campus. On the beach.
Where in Texas is it?
It's on the beach. It's on the Gulf. Very
Is
south.
it?
You know where the Gulf of Mexico is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Got it. Rogers fooling around with Garrett Copeland. Was it Garrett that you said that we had heard that Jordan grew up with, or Jordan? Did you?
Let me double check.
I remember this from maybe the other day. I don't remember if it was Copeland or if it was somebody else. Yeah, because they're both from Tennessee. I don't know where Bartlett is exactly. That's where Copeland's from. But Jordan's from Arlington, Tennessee.
Oh, they're gonna call it. What is this?
This is either going to be a delay or they're going to call this. So we are actually going to step aside, and we will try to figure out what's going on here, and we will bring you what we know. We'll be right back. Hi, folks. Tonight's game has been suspended for tonight. So basically, they're going to pause what has happened and pick it up at some other point. And we don't know whether that will be here or whether that will be in Palmer with the Bucs serving as the home team. But keep an eye out on Twitter at ABL Miners, also on Facebook, and our website, matsuminers.org. We will post anything we learn about this game. So as of tonight, this game is over, but still 3-2 Miners in the top of the fourth. There are 3 runners on. The bases are loaded. And that is it for tonight. So for Emma Tiedemann, I'm Austin Pollock, and we will see you tomorrow. 6 o'clock start against the Bucs at Herman Brothers Field. And we'll be on at 5:45 with the Matsu Miners pregame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. So once again, a 3-2 game right now in the top of the fourth. The bases loaded with nobody outs. This game has been suspended. We are returning back to Palmer, and keep an eye out on Twitter, Facebook, and the website for an update, and we'll post it as soon as we get it. Thank you, and have a good evening.